Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Marion and I make DIY tutorials, fashion and anything in between. So today I'm making these slides. They are house slides or house slippers. So that's how they are looking. To make this you need foam and fabric, that the fabric you're going to use to cover the foam with, and of course a sewing machine. It's a really simple project and it gives you really comfortable house shoes to wear, especially when it's cold. And now that most of the world is under quarantine, maybe you need some comfortable house shoes to have. These green ones, I used to have them before, but I'm now upgrading because they have a lot of wear and tear, so I made me another pair. So if you want to make yourself a pair like this to sit in cozy with in your house, please let's go and start the tutorial. So first I'm going to be making my pattern for the slides, and I'm using my foot. As you can see, I'm just tracing around my foot. So that was a really, if you want your slides to fit a little bigger, just add about half an inch all around the pattern. But if you want them to fit snug like mine fits, just leave it like that. So next I'm going to be measuring around my toe, as you can see, to find the pattern for the top part of the slides, and it was 7 inches, so that's what I'm marking there, 7 inches. Then I'll do the same for the top part. Okay, just making sure it's 7 inches, and yes, it is. Then doing the same for the top part over there and transferring it to the pattern. So for mine it was 5 inches, and transferring it to the pattern I just added 0.5 at the top over there, and you're just going to join those two parts and then the other part, as you can see. So these patterns are for the left leg, and I'm just going to transfer the top part. I was using chalk so that when I fold it like that to transfer the pattern, the outline can come to the other side. Okay, you're gonna see what I mean. Just lapping it to transfer the chalk markings, and they're really faint so you can't see them, but that method transferred some chalk and enabled me to do that pattern over there. So for this initial, I'm going to cut that inside part of the pattern, and then for the top part I'll cut this other one. So there I marked the left and right side, and then that's what you can see. So for cutting you need to make sure that you have your right leg and your left leg for everything. So I cut forms, 2 forms for each piece, and then the top pattern I cut 2 pieces of the Ankara fabric that I was using, and for the bottom I cut 1 part for the top and 3 pieces of cotton for the bottom, just to allow for wear and tear, because I want to be wearing this for a while. So then now that I'm going to sandwich or create a kilt using these pieces. So going straight into the sewing, I'll start with the top pieces, the top fabrics, and putting right sides casing. I'm just going to make a seam attaching them together on the one side, the opening part of the patterns. So this is what we have so far, and I'm just sandwiching that foam into it, making sure it fits really snug at that point where the two fabrics meet, and then I'm going to top stitch to secure the foam inside. Like that. So that's what we have, and now I want to just sew along the other edges of the fabric, the curved edges. I'm going to sew along there. And this is what we have after the process. I'm going to trim off the excess foam. And there we have that top for this part of the slides. So with this, I'm taking the bottom part of the slides, and I'm just going to sandwich it, like do the edges, sew along the edges, making sure I'm sewing through the foam and all the other fabrics that I have for this pattern. Remember that I used 3 layers for the bottom of the slides and just 1 layer for where I'll be, like for the inside. And so to ensure that this slide is going to take more wear and tear and withstand more wear and tear, I'm going to sew in straight lines for the kilt. I think it's called quilting, just sewing straight lines along the pieces to make them more compact and to reduce the amount of tearing if ever it comes to that. So after that's done, this is what we have, and it's time to attach the top part to the bottom part of the slides. I'm just going to use my pins to secure the areas where the edges need to be. And then I'm going to sew along that curve to attach that top and the bottom of the slides. Oh god, I tried it on at this point just for the sake of trying it on, and it fit, but it wasn't really, it didn't have a lot of space, so you need to add around half an inch if you want it to be bigger on you as you are making the pattern. Anyway, so now I'm going to attach to stitch along that curve to attach the bottom and the top of the slides. Just trimming the excess you need to trim because next year we will be binding the edges and you don't want it to be really rough around the edges as you bind. So that's where we are now, and I'm going to cut the binding for these slides from this fabric. It's a really beautiful fabric. So the binding, I'll be cutting it on bias, so that's why I'm folding my fabric diagonally to be able to cut diagonal strips so that it has a bit of stretch, because the slides have some curved areas. So the binding just has to be maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches is enough, and of course I need 2 of this. So to attach the binding, I'm just folding that edge and putting it on the lower side of the slide, as you can see, and I'm going to just sew along that edge. It's not really clear, but the right side of the binding is at the bottom of the slide, and I'm just going to attach them all around. Yeah. Be careful with the edges. Make sure the binding fabric is laying flat even as you sew around the corners or the curves. So once you get to the edge where you had begun, reinforce that and finish it up there. Then I'm cutting off the excess and folding that binding on the right side, as you can see, because you're going to top stitch it now. So there's a little extra over there, so I'm just going to cut it off. And over here, it's a matter of folding it in like that and top stitching. stitching, this is what you should have. Just trim any excess threads that are on there, and you have your slides. That's how they are looking. Yeah, that's it. If you liked this video, I hope you subscribe. Hope you like it, and please comment down in the comment section about any ideas you may have for slides, house slides, or house slippers, or whatever you call them. And thank you so much for watching. I hope you're keeping safe during this period with the coronavirus. I hope you're quarantined and yeah, enjoying your time, or trying to anyway. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye.